to one of our favourite properties, and Ben has found some new rock ledges to torture us with. And there's plenty of chance to warm up along this tight gully. Normally, I just plod along at the back of the pack. But I figured I would try and stay with Ben, who tends to fly through this stuff now with all the training he has done on these tracks. It starts off okay, but eventually I get snagged on things I don't see coming.
Oh, fucking branch got the helmet. Bastard!
One thing surprises me though. As you speed up, some of this terrain becomes easier. The suspension is absorbing the impact.
Ah! Fucking boots catching on trees.
But the problem is I'm not used to riding it faster, so it's hard to spot those branches, roots or rocks that can throw me offline.
And I'm catching on everything. Branches, roots.
I think Ben takes this awkward line just to practice his static zap technique. I want to conserve energy, so I take the easier line and pivot turn around this rock, then rock the bike and seat bounce up the big tree root.
Trying to static balance, still no foot down. Ah, 1 foot down.
I'm getting tired quickly though. Despite regular exercise, my cardio fitness has dropped dramatically during my 50s, and the extra speed has got me wheezing away.
Fuck.
And now we are coming up to the first nasty rock ledge. A pro rider would probably do all of this without stopping, but we are breaking it into 4 sections. First, we have to squeeze between these 2 rocks, then go up 3 rock ledges that are awkwardly spaced apart. Ben does a static balance on the first one just for practice.
Nice work.
I do a little wheelie between these rocks to stop the exhaust or skid plate from hitting hard. The next 2 ledges are difficult. Ben uses a rock against the rear wheel to make static balancing easy. And next is the static zap. Ben will lean back, throw his weight forward at the critical moment, initially to weight the rear wheel, then stop the bike from flipping.
Wow. Good work, mate.
Nothing fancy for me on this first ledge. I just sit on the bike and seat bounce to get through.
Why do we do this shit? Ah.
Unlike Ben, I don't static balance, which will mean less drive. And I don't commit enough due to the fear of flipping the bike.
Nowhere near enough force.
You'd actually bounce it up unless you want to have another go.
Yeah. She might have.
Shoe buckle's undone, that's why, bud.
Ah, that's what went wrong. Okay, got her back on that rock.
I'd take the wimp's way out.
Nah, bugger it, mate. Sorry, I'll cheat. Yeah, we'll lift her up. Thanks, mate. And go for your crotch.
It would be a fun section to practice on, but I live in fear of tweaking this dodgy knee before these upcoming trips to Romania and Canada. Unlike Ben, the fearless primate,
And if we're very quiet, we'll see one of the most spectacular things you can find in the forest, the cross-training primate. If we're very... Oh, he may have spotted us. Oh. They can be quite aggressive. But...
let's see how the other guys do. Young Archie is wearing my special Gumby t-shirt. He thinks it will help, but I know it will cause nothing but grief.
Almost, mate.
Ben is keen to teach Arch some of the advanced skills for upcoming hard enduros, so he gets Arch to static balance. As we discussed in the static zap training vid, it's a bloody hard technique to master because you always think you will flip the bike.
Nice one, mate. You're up the first ledge.
Stand up, take your weight off
Yeah, don't go backwards.
Okay, let's see how Jeff goes. Interesting to see Jeff doesn't bother with static balancing. With long legs, he can easily put one foot on a rock. As long as he doesn't put weight on that foot, this will keep his body weight on the rear wheel for traction.
Good work.
It would be easy to just manhandle and lift the bikes over this ledge, but we are always keen to see if we can make the bike do the work when possible. But except for Ben, we have to eventually just lift them all up. A final bit of very cool single track through this gully, and there's a final uphill section coming up that is surprisingly tricky, with all the rocks, loose ground cover, and an off-camber rock ledge at the end that messes with all of us. Archie has repeated attempts at the final ledge, but spilled fuel on the rock has reduced traction to almost zero. So it's time for Dad to take over.
Okay, let's see how Ben does. Yeah, we got quite a bit of fuel on the rock now, so she's very slippery. But I still think Ben did that really badly. That's no excuse.
Yeah, no, don't do what I do. Something.
A rocking motion and then jamming on the brakes provides the maximum run-up possible.
Yeah, nice work, mate.
See how lightly Jeff dabs with his boot here. This keeps the rear wheel weighted for traction.
Oh man, that was pretty close. So close. Was it worth just lifting across?
No, I'll do it properly.
An excellent seat bounce gives so much traction the bike wants to wheelie.
You could have got the front wheel higher.
And that's about all the rock ledges we can handle in one ride, so it's off for some flowing single track. I hope some of these tips are helpful. Remember, there are training vids explaining things like the static zap and static balance. Catch you guys later.